Hey everybody, welcome to Pajama Physics. Today we are going to be going over y equals mx plus b and how we are using it to find slope. So let's start. Let's start with our lovely linear equation. There we go, equals mx plus b. And we talked about the m is equal to the slope. I'm sure you have learned this in math class. This is just a quick review. So slope is equal to the rise over the run. And what that means is when you are given a linear line, so just a straight line, we have to rise before we run. Okay, so it is equal to the change in y over the change in x. So this little triangle is equal to delta. Okay, that's the name that's for that little triangle there. We just call that delta. And it stands for the change in. So how we read that out, we call it the change in y over the change in x. So what that actually means though is y final minus y initial over x final minus x initial. And you might be like, Miss Brennan, what? And I will say, that's okay to not understand. What we are trying to do is recognize where we are starting from and where we went. But in order to find the change in something, we have to go from where we're ended and where we started. Okay, so where we ended minus where we started. So to find the slope, you have to pick 2 points on your graph. Okay, so let's just say, because we've been working with distance versus time graphs, let's just work with this one. So we have a graph here. We have to label our coordinate system. So this is the positive x direction, and this is the positive y direction. So I'm just going to change up my color, and let's just call this our line. Okay, that's a pretty good line there. So now let's designate it with some numbers so that we can actually use this. All right, so I will call this point A, and let's find a good spot. Right here. That's a pretty good spot right there. We'll call that point B. So point A is found at 0, 0. And let's call this point 1, and let's call this point 5. Okay, so in our distance versus time graph, this would be distance, and it's measured in meters, and this would be time, and it's measured in seconds. Okay, so we're trying to find speed. So speed for distance versus time graphs is found by the slope. So speed equals slope. How do we find the slope? The change in y over the change in x. So how do I find my speed for this problem here? I have to recognize where I ended and where I started from. So I know that I am ending here at x, y. So I just want to make sure that we know that's the point. So 1, 5. Okay, so let's just write out our equation again. So y final minus y initial over x final minus x initial. So where was I ending? Like, where did I end on this line? What was my distance at the end for point B? Well, we can see here that it was 5 meters. And where did I start from? I started from the origin, just 0. Okay. And what was my time? My final time was 1 second. And again, I started from the origin, so that's 0 seconds. So what was my slope? I just do the math. 5 meters per 1 second, or 5 meters per second. Okay. Let me know if this doesn't make sense. Again, this is just a really brief interview. Whew, it's really late. I'm sorry. Overview. This is just a really brief overview of what slope is and why it's important to understand. Again, if you still do not understand this, please reach out to me. I have no problem making more pajama physics videos. Again, I just need to know where you're at. Okay, so if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. I hope you all are having a great night, and I can't wait to see you again. All right, bye.